Good afternoon everyone and welcome to Wickersley Angling Centre. Today's product review is of this little beauty. Now, they do come in various shapes, various sizes. There's other makes on the market, I ain't disputing that. All it is to show you something that I do myself and a couple of my pals are now I've educated them, are doing, and they find it really good. So I thought I'd do a little video on it. Now this is, they're basically lure boxes for lure fishing and what have you. But what you can turn them into is a great little product for course fishing, match fishing and what have you. So what do I use it for? Well, when I'm at home, I spend probably 8 to 9 months of my life at home living in my garage, pottering about with my fishing tackle, making rigs, tying hooks, doing all kinds of stuff. And I love my garage. It's the best place at home for me. I love it. It's outside. I can put my radio on, leave my phone in house so nobody can bother me, and just crack on doing my rigs and tying my hooks and pottering about. But, and here is the but, when it gets to November, December, January, February, it's so cold in garage. I know we've all got heaters and that, but they take some warming up, and my garage is quite big, so it takes a lot of heating up, and especially with price of electric and gas nowadays, you don't want to be spending a lot of time in there when it's cold. So for 2 or 3 months a year, my garage is redundant, but we've still got the chores to do, haven't we? We've still got to tie us hooks, we've still got to make us pole rigs. So then this is the next problem. So you think, right, I'm going to do them while I'm watching telly, while I'm watching football or whatever, but you think, right, I've got to tie some hooks. So you've got to go to your garage, then you've got to start rooting around because everything's set up in your garage, or in, like in mine, everything's set up so I know where it is, and it's in drawers and it's here, there and everywhere. So I've got line over there, I've got hooks in this drawer, I've got, you know, it's just endless in your garage once you get it kitted out. But you just want to pick something up and be able to then go back into house and tie your hooks or make your rigs. So this is where this little beauty comes in. As I say, the main one I've got is all my garages kitted out, but for a few months a year, I don't want to be in my garage because it's too cold. So let me run you through this lure box, what we do. It's just basically a plastic box. It's got 2 clips on front with a drop down front. And as I say, this one in particular has got 3 slidey out boxes. And as I say, they're more for putting lures in and pike tracers and things like that, or for fly fishing, whatever you want to use them for. But they're a great gadget because I can put all my pole floats in, or a selection of my pole floats like that. So they're in handy little tubs when I want to redo my rigs, or if I bust a rig, I've got floats to hand. So that's what I keep in 2 of them. In the other one, I've got all my hook tying stuff. So in this one, I've got hook tying stuff. So I've got my Drennan hook tire. I've got different things. I've got my Sensus loop tires, like these. I've got me, but not a lot of people have ever seen a pair of these. These are style pliers, and they were made by a company called Image back in the day, and these are absolutely fantastic for putting style leads on your line in small sizes, in 7s, 8s and 9s. And if you ever see some styles in 7s, 8s and 9s, if you look at the size of them, they're absolutely microscopic. But these style pliers, what Image Products brought out years ago, I'm talking probably 20, 25, 30 years ago, are absolutely fantastic for putting them on. I've got me knot pickers, various knot pickers, for when I do get a tangle or a knot in my line, or for poking eye out at varnish of my pole floats and things. just general stuff. Line nippers for when I've tied rigs or tying hooks. I've got all kinds of stuff like that in this one. I've got my lever piombo in there for moving my shot up and down my line and nicking shots off. Another fantastic little product, what we've done a review on in the past. And then also I've got, as I say, I've got my shots, or some of my shot. I've got style leads in this, a few different sizes of stops, shot and different things like that. So that's what I put in that tub. Then when I go to the top, I'll just close that back up. When I go to the top part of it, it's a big open compartment. So in this one, I've got my hook tying, my olivettes and my line, what I use for making rigs and tying hooks. So I've also got my Ringers hook length marker for making hook lengths up with. I've got some original, the old-fashioned hook packets, which us traditional anglers and silverfish anglers still use quite a bit. I've got various sizes of shots for making big pole float rigs up, pole float silicone. I've got spare hook boxes of various sizes, what I just keep in here, just as you do. Hooks, different hooks. I do like these magnetic hook boxes as well to keep, instead of having millions of hook packets, you can just have 2 or 3 of them in there, and you won't believe how many different ranges of hooks you can have in. But you can also have, like, basically one with just barbless hooks in, one with barbed hooks in. So it's easy for when you're wanting to tie your hooks, you know which hook box you want out. Then I've got other stuff in here, like a box where I've got made up, which I keep all my olivettes in, and I've got them all in individual sizes, so it's just easy to pick a 0.3, a 0.4, a 1 gram, a 4 gram one out, instead of having to root through them all. I just have them all in a neat little box like that. I've also got another box in here, which I have my shot in, which I keep on my desk, or as I say, when on to living room table when I go in house. So I've just got all my shots, my Balabini shot, which I use, that's the only hook shot I use because it's fantastic for rig making and what have you. I only use Balabini, and I just keep that in a little box like that. So it's all individually sized. You have got to be careful that there's no kids about what can come and knock this over, because if you counted how many shots in there, you won't want to be going through that and trying to separate number 12s from number 10s if kids are about. So that's a box that fortunately I've got no kids, so it don't matter to me. Just scissors and other things, and then I've got another one, an EVA tub, one of my Mazzella EVAs, which I keep a selection of lines in. This is my Colmix Stream, which I use for a lot of my silverfish hook lengths. That is a fantastic line, so I keep that in there. And also I've got my rig line, which I use for all my pole float rigs, which is the Daiwa Tournament, and I've done an article on them in the past. So that is a fantastic line for making rigs, and I use it for my hook lengths for carp fishing and things like that, because it's a very robust line. But basically everything that's in here, when I want to go to garage and get something out for making my rigs up, I can just go into the garage and pick this out. So everything what we want for rig making and hook tying is in that box. So when it's freezing in the middle of winter, I can think, right, hook tying tonight or rig making for an hour. I just go into the garage, pick that up, which is on side, and everything is to hand. It also doubles up as if you do a lot of festival fishing and you go to Whiteacres on festivals at Whiteacres, or you go to Ireland, you can just make a little kit box up for yourself with bits in what you need for making rigs in Ireland, like the big floats, bigger olivettes, things like that. Or if you go commercial fishing to Whiteacres and that, you can have one with just carp stuff in. You can have one for feeder fishing if you wanted to put a few feeders in it, or different things for feeder fishing, like bands and all kinds of spikes and things like that, and hook lengths and hooks. You can make them, you can have a couple, 2 or 3 different ones of these, but they just make it so much easier. You can just go pick that up out at garage when it's freezing, walk back in house. I ain't got to root about all over in my garage trying to find everything. Everything's to hand. I can just drop that on the table and start tying my hooks or making rigs.